Well, it's great to speak to you. You've obviously just had a week off and now another one with the cancellation of the London game as well. How are you feeling at the moment at this point of the season?
Yeah, I'm happy with how we've been going. I know a few games have slipped away, but I think the past few weeks we've really started to come together and starting to push on now.
Yeah, it's going well. Let's take you back to the first memories of rugby league then. Who did you look to in terms of sport and idols growing up?
When I was probably younger, like one of my dad was obviously a big part of my rugby life, and watching him play and him doing everything what I'm doing now. So that's what I really wanted to grow up to be like.
Yeah. Obviously, the first team you played for then did you start with the Hornets, or was that your first team, or did you have a team before?
Yeah, that was my first team when I first started out. Was Halton Farm Hornets, yeah.
Yeah. What memories do you have of that? And
well, we had quite a good team at the Hornets at my age, so we used to win quite a lot. So winning a lot of trophies with them is one of my good memories from there.
Yeah. Obviously, with having your dad growing up with, as you mentioned, growing up with him as a coach as well. What influence did he have on you? Was he kind of pushing you to be the best version of yourself in terms of rugby player when you were young?
Yeah, he was just basically just do how I wanted to play myself. So not like pushing me to be like anything else. Just like express the way I play, and I think that was like a massive part of getting to where I am now.
Yeah. Obviously, with the Hornets, but when did you first hear from Widnes Vikings about joining the club?
Well, I was there in 2012 for like a development squad what they have, and then I went to the scholarship and I didn't get offered one, and then it's just carried on playing back local amateur for the Hornets, and after the half a season, Widnes come back to me and asked me to join back, and that was 2018. Then I come back in the academy, so that was when I got the first come back.
Yeah. What about the academy then? What are your best memories about your time in that, and who are the coaches that impacted your career the most?
Obviously, Raz, who's still here now, he was one of the big help to where I am now. Grant God, who was the coach at the time, he gave me the contract to join her, so I'll always be grateful for that. And probably my memories is just playing with them lads every week. It was a good time.
So yeah, obviously you came in to the squad. Tim Sheehan's called you in the season before this one. Where did you first hear from him, and what was his message on you coming into the team?
Well, we used to train to the academy against the first team, to go against each other and do our plays. And I think one day Tim phoned me and said, would I jump in with the first team tonight? I don't know if they were low on numbers and I jumped in, and then from that day I just basically stayed with him till COVID hit and we had to break up. And since then, when I come back, I've obviously signed my first team deal, and then I was back with the boys. So it was good to get that experience before I come in again with Tim.
Yeah. How did you find settling in then once you'd signed that first team contract and you got in for that first pre-season?
It was good. Obviously, all the boys did welcome in anyway, because I didn't know them all too well. I only had a few weeks of them, but everything was good, and just doing everything together and training, going out together, and everything was really well.
Yeah. When did you find out you'd be playing your first game and making your debut against West Wales?
The team were on the Friday. I found out I didn't have a clue, because I knew the full squad was fit, and I thought he was going to go with a few more of the older lads. So obviously told when he announced here on the Friday, he said I was playing. I was made up. It was one of the best feelings I've had, knowing I was going to run out for the first time.
Yeah. What was it like making your debut then, especially with Josh Wilde as well, who you come through with?
It was probably one of the best days I've probably ever had. It's obviously being a fan since being a young lad. Something I've always wanted to do. So getting the chance to do it didn't seem real, really. It still doesn't know.
Yeah. What about your first try then against Whitehaven? Obviously, what were you feeling like after that one? I think that was the first one with no fans in at the time. What was that like?
It's just the mentally, like that's what I've always dreamed of as well. Obviously scoring for Widnes, so actually getting to do it was a dream come true, really.
Yeah. With the second one, you obviously had the fans in as well. It was I think the first game back in front of the fans. Did that one feel even better then when you had the fans behind you as well?
Yeah, that one felt even special, really, because just the whole stadium just lifts, especially when anyone scores. But obviously a local lad just gives it an extra little buzz, and it was a great feeling.
Yeah. it's been a strange season in the way that there were no fans at the start and that more have come in recent weeks, obviously. How different is it to play in front of a crowd, and how much does it affect you in games?
Yeah, it gives us like an extra number. It doesn't boost us so much, especially when we had no fans. It's flat really, like, the atmosphere. You've got to build your own atmosphere, but especially the Widnes fans, how loud they are and how much they like get behind you. It's like an extra player, an extra number, and it doesn't half help us.
Yeah, and you've obviously become an important part of the team this season, with the team needing players in your position, particularly urgently as well. What's it been like being like kind of thrown into the deep end in that way, and you've been consistently in the first team with them having a lack of prop forwards?
I think at the start I didn't really expect it. So obviously, don't think no one expected like the numbers we've had down this year, but I think the more I've played, the more like I'm growing confidence and just getting used to like the speed and the level of the championship. It's a tough level, but I think I'm just gradually getting there with it.
Yeah. What does it mean as well? Obviously, you mentioned before being a Widnes lad. What does it mean to represent your hometown as well? Does it make you proud to pull on the shirt because you're local?
Yeah, it's definitely, because especially like I've always been a fan from young. I've been every game. Just getting the chance to even come here to train at the start when I got my trial was like immense. But especially by getting every week now running out, probably it's the best thing I could do. So it's everything I've always wanted.
Yeah. What do you hope to achieve with Widnes then this season?
I think looking at it now properly, getting in the playoffs is what we want. It'd be tough, but I think that's where we need to keep pushing on, because where we've been playing, we've been getting a lot better as the weeks go on. But we just need to keep pushing, and hopefully we can get into that playoff spot. Yeah.
What about longer term then? What are your aspirations with the Widnes long term?
Obviously we want to get some trophies in, we want to win. But I think long term, getting us back to like where we belong in the Super League.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. But yeah, best of luck with that. Thanks very much for speaking to us today. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers, thank you.